Sun's out, the fun's out. It's Monday Night Skippys here on RaceSpot TV in beautiful sunniness, California. New season, some new stars, some old stars. Join us in just a few minutes' time for round one at Laguna Seca. Qualifying coming to an end here at Laguna Raceway Laguna Seca. Wife are joined by Connery Maddock and Fraser Williamson here as we begin round one of season 3 for the UK&I Skip Barber Racing School series. Well, old stars, new stars, all we know is it's going to be a fantastic season ahead of us, and we're starting at a great raceway here tonight. Thanks for joining us, same time as always. Qualifying is complete. We're starting a little bit ahead of time this week. We'll go straight to your grid. Tom Ward is on the pole today with a fantastic lap there. 1 minute 34.735 sees him ahead of some big guns. Lando Norris has to settle for second place. Benny Simonson in third. Two-time defending champion for Humanitas is back in fourth place. Drew Adcock in fifth. Mick Watson in sixth place. Williams and Bill Fraser row 4. Row 5 is Ryan G. Walker and Nathan Davies. That's the top 10 stacked with big names from seasons past and seasons recent. So positions up on your screen now as you get ready for the grid. And what is definitely going to be an exciting race, Connery, as well, one of iRacing's new features is certainly going to make this quite the tricky challenge.
Yes, it's a very, very dusty track out there. We've had about 2 hours of running already with practice and qualifying, and people have been going wide, and actually bringing debris and dust onto the track, and it's especially noticeable in Turn 2, your Andretti hairpin, and the corkscrew, so that's going to be an interesting factor in this race, Rachel.
It certainly is. In fact, there's only really one line, Connery, through the corkscrew at the moment, unfortunately for the drivers, as they've decided to turn it into a beach. So we're not too far from Monterey, California. Looks like we could be seeing some surf and some sand here today at Laguna Seca. But we're going to get ready now to see the guys head to the grid as this one is ready to kick off. We are going racing 15 laps here. Same as the official series is, of course, taking place at the end of week, every single week here on RaceSpot TV and iRacing Live. We always bring you the best and the greatest action from this UK&I series. Cars heading onto the grid now. We're going to get ready because this is going to go crazy as we get ready for a new season. These engines will rev up for the first time at Go Through Championship points, but there aren't any yet, so it's going to be a great, great race.
Yeah, we have a few newcomers this series as well. I know Lando Norris joined at the end of last season, but he's been showing really good pace in these Skip Barber cars. He, of course, is a professional driver in the Formula Renault series in real life, so he has that natural pace. Can he convert it to wins in this series?
We will have to find out, Connery, as the lights are about to get ready to go on here. Engines will rev. We're going to go racing for 15 whole laps, we said that a moment ago, but it's going to be tricky around here. There's a good grid tonight. We have 26 racers. We'll be prepared for these guys to go at it for a very, very good race. Big guns returning. Tom Ward, of course, Lando Norris, all running full seasons this season. Benny Simonson also for Hernandez. Can he make it 3 times in a row? We'll find out shortly as lights are on. And the green is waving here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, and it's a great start by Lando Norris in second place. The Formula Renault driver in real life has a good run on Tom Ward. It will be level heading towards turn 1. In fact, Norris might even have to run on your pole sitter. Phenomenal start by him. Antonides has to settle for 4th at the moment as everyone goes sideways in turn 1 as they get through the dust. Looking more like a rallycross event here than we'd expect, of course, as actually Norris lost a spot there to Benny Simonson. He's up to second place. Norris dropping down to 3rd as we have heavy traffic behind us, Fraser.
Yes, and Nathan Davies is already making moves along with Bell Fraser there. That's in your middle of the top 10.
Yes, they certainly are, as some of our newer stars in the series battling to get back up into places they've become familiar with. Connery leading up now towards the quarter before that first time trouble spot for the race.
Yes, definitely. As you said, there's a single line through there now because of all the dust and debris that's been thrown onto the track. They're coming up this hill now to the corkscrew. The Skippys kind of struggle up this hill. You sort of level off the speed sometimes, but then it starts picking up as the gradient decreases. And now down into the corkscrew. Who's going to hold it?
We'll see. Look at that dirt and debris all over the track. In fact, as every time they cut that curb, they're dragging even more on. With the Manta cars going through there per lap now, this will be very dirty by the end of the race. Just cleaning off a single line there. Great new feature, of course, that will stick to the tyres of these cars, and it does affect their grip, Fraser, so this will definitely be a defining factor in this race.
Yes, and that dart is just led to Nathan Davies.
Sorry, a huge barge there by Lando Norris. We'll try and get you a replay of that one as they go nearly 3 wide now. Antonides sneaking through on the inside, running towards turn 1. But final corner there, that was a massive, massive lunge by Lando Norris on Benny Simonson, even. Lando on Benny Simonson, I'll get these right eventually. Antonides, the victor in that conflict. Big, big hit there, Connery. A little early for that.
You're just a bit, but I have to wonder now if Lando Norris has any suspension damage to the right side of that Skip Barber car. These wheels are quite fragile, so we'll see how it goes from here.
They certainly are. That's given Tom Ward a 1-second lead at this stage of the race. So it's Tom Ward, Antonides, Lando Norris, Benny Simonson, Stuart Adcock, Mick Watson, Bill Fraser, Clark Williams, Ryan Walker, and Nathan Davies, Mr. Valleys, in that Apex Academy car. Rounding out your top 10 there. He's going to do his best. That's not actually him. Actually, that's Ryan Walker I was looking at, so ignore me. The Welshman is in a very green car. Just green on the Welsh flag, Connery. I think I'm right with that one.
Yes, you are right. White, red and green. As they come down to the corkscrew again, Tom Ward gets a bit of a slide on. He's done very well to recover that, actually.
He certainly has. And speaking of the Welsh flag, I think they're all dragging some dust onto that corkscrew as I release another terrible pun to start a new season here on Monday nights. But these guys definitely getting sideways now. We're starting to see the effect of that dust, Fraser. This is really the topic of the race, of course, as we have another big lock-up into turn 1 there. Norris going to try and make a move on Antonides. Didn't work. In fact, will come under threat now by Simonson from 4th.
Yes, and as you were saying with the dart, it was causing Nathan Davies to get loose in the second to last corner, so I think cars with that rapid change of weight will be being affected by this start.
Certainly are, and that was Lando Norris defending his spot into 3rd against Simonson. Ward has been drawn back in a little bit, not a huge amount of gap he's got, it's about 0.8 of a second, but still a good gap for him. Looking outside your top 10, it's P11 is Ashley Beard, who I believe is a new driver in this series. Good to see more blood coming in. Tim got running in 12th, Adrian Bidewell down in 13th, not good from him. Chris Malcolm also 14th place, not what we expect those drivers. Brian J. Holmes, Simon Mulvey, he's P16, Paul Thurston down in 17th, one of our regular talkers in the interview booth, of course. As Fraser, we've got some interesting starters towards the back.
Yes, and that's also Jonathan Rex making a pass on Wayne Palmer, which is going to allow Luke Ridgway up into that diving left-hand corner. He's going to try to take the inside line there.
As Luke Ridgway driving that very Picasso-esque Skip Barber car as he tries to get past the artificial lawn machine. Well, they'll need some of that because there's definitely no grass here. So an artificial lawn could be a good solution. Might get rid of some of that dust being kicked up as we see more clouds of it there. And we'll just watch these guys as in front of him, Jonathan Rex runs very wide there. We'll let Matt Jacobs through. Another Apex car there. Going to have a move through on this inside. No, he'll run very wide. Tracking right out onto the concrete and the dust. That will be a position gain, position lost for him as we look back towards the front. What's changed amongst your leaders? Gap between Ward and Antonides has shrunk down to less than half a second here. Big lock up there by Fahim Antonides. Lando Norris still holds on to third. Simonson content to run in fourth for now. Adcock Connery, he's prowling around in P5.
Yeah, he's just looking at these guys battling ahead, especially Benny Simpson and Lando Norris. They've been quite close together throughout the whole of that last lap. I think he's just waiting for the opportune moment to stick his nose in somewhere.
He certainly is, and well, he's going to not wait long the way this fight's going. Certainly quite an aggressive run up front for the first round of the season, Fraser. These drivers wanted to assert their performance here, wanting to state to the other drivers this early on, I'm going for this championship, watch out.
Yes, and well, any of your top 10 currently could be within a shout of being on that podium at the end of the season in week 12. But I think it requires some working with your competition to use the draft to catch up, which going too wide through corners wouldn't help you at all.
He certainly wouldn't there, as we've lost a car there. That was actually Lando Norris. I believe he's had a slowdown penalty issued in... Yes, he did. He cut the first apex of the corkscrew there. Has to pull over to serve that time gained. And that drops him all the way back to 5th position there, Connery. Not good for him. He's out of this fight now. Moving the quiet, patient Adcock up a spot. And Lando Norris is now out of position.
Yeah, I think Lando can actually get back up there, but that wasn't the best of ideas, cutting the first part of that corkscrew there. He'd be kicking himself right now.
Certainly will be, of course. And in front, Tom Ward still in the lead. 6 tenths per second now. So that gap was fluctuating by about 2 tenths every lap. Fraser, not much motion there, but he is doing a great job in maintaining this one. No problems for him yet. Of course, qualified on pole and holds that pole position.
Yes.
As we look towards the 98, actually, Fraser, and the 15.
Yes, and that was Bill Fraser and Kirk Williams going side by side out of the Andretti hairpin all the way round down here to turn 5.
As a former teammate, of course, in Fraser squared, is he just Fraser now?
He can be whatever he wants to be, I believe in him that much.
Great, of course. Is under threat now is one of the Frasers by Bill Fraser. Not Bill Fraser, that is Bill Fraser.
Yes.
It's Ryan G. Walker behind him, putting the pressure on the Scottish driver there as they track out here up the hill, climbing before this fast left-hander, Connery. Kind of tricky, that big red sausage curb there. If you cut the corner too much, that will put you in orbit, and if you don't cut it enough, well, you run straight off the track.
Yes, and we just seen a pass on Ryan Walker by Nathan Davies there. Nathan Davies making his way through the field here. He has Bill Fraser and Clark Williams in front of him, who have had a little bit of a fight, so we might be seeing Nathan Davies getting in on the fight for P7.
We certainly might, and of course we do need to take a note of who at the front here is going to be running the championship. Of course, Tom Ward has committed to a full season. Antonides, full season. Not sure on Simonson, but we know Adcock and Lando Norris definitely will be, so that's going to make things very exciting in this front group. We certainly have a very, very rapid drivers here, Fraser. P5, Lando Norris, he's dropped back about a second now from his lead group. Not able to hang on really without that draft. Almost falling into clutches of Mick Watson.
Yes, and you're saying about Benny Simonson not being in the championship, Bill. He's just signed up for the team championship from this with Nathan Davies. So
we have a team on our hands, a new team, Nathan Davies, and of course the driver there, Benny Simonson. So that could be a very exciting combination.
And we've also got Bill Fraser trying to get at Clark Williams, and this time he gets the job done.
Good move there by that number 15 on the 98 of Clark Williams as he gets through there, running up the hill towards the corkscrew. No major drama so far, Connery. Everything patient and quiet in the race as we're on lap number 6 now, running back through the corkscrew for your leaders. Look at that dust everywhere. Just really tame race.
Yeah, the dust is definitely a factor, and they've been very well behaved so far, apart from maybe Lando Norris going a bit too hot into the last corner. But apart from that, they've been very, very well behaved all throughout your field. There's been no big wrecks so far, but hopefully I don't jinx that now, as is the case with Race Spot.
We certainly have a habit of jinxing things, don't we, as coming out the final corner there. Tom Ward maintaining his gap, but cannot seem to shake Antonides. Antonides is still 0.6 of a second back, almost the same gap as last time by. Simonson in third, Stuart Adcock in fourth, and Lando Norris in P5. Gaps all very static there at the front. Norris not really able to catch up at all, but isn't really losing time to Mick Watson or Bill Fraser, who's still ahead of Clark Williams in the 98 car. Looking further back a bit, it's a little spread out as we go back for some action there. We have Tim Adcock, Adrian Bidwell, Brian J. Holmes racing neck and neck here, just outside your top 10. Really P11 through P15, Fraser. Good battling down here.
Yes, for these drivers it doesn't matter where it is. Doesn't matter if it's for first or for last. They just want to come here on a Monday night and have the closest battling possible. And that's what you usually get here in Monday Night Skippies.
We certainly do, of course, and have a quick look down towards the back, see if we can find any action going on. Pretty quiet actually at the rear of your field, some quiet racing. Max Petrel is out, as is Chris Malcolm, he's dropped out of this one. Jonathan Rex also out at this stage, and a very slow Mark Turner, he's out of position very heavily, was qualified 11th, running in 23rd position on the racetrack. Must have had some sort of issue. We'll see if Luke
Sorry, Rachel, we've got Mick
machine.
Watson slow. I think he's got a slowdown penalty, and now he's dropping back through the field. I think he's in 9th now. Wow, that is not what you want if you're Mick Watson there. He just got passed by Clark Williams and Bill Fraser as well.
Yes, he
Trying
went
to find out
in.
what happened to him. Was it another corkscrew?
Corkscrew, he went in far too hot for the second apex and missed the first. Went rally
costing
crossing.
major time. Yeah, that will cost you a lot of time, Fraser, of course. Really hard to serve that one from the second apex as well. You're carrying a lot of speed, so it's tough to get that car slowed down and serve that. But Mick Watson's dropped back to 8th place now on the racetrack, which has promoted Bill Fraser into P6, and Lando Norris.
That's Clark Williams
gained
around
some
right
time.
in front of Mick Watson. That's
Oh, it
Mick
is.
Watson
Clark
with
Williams
that
with a
huge
big
front
spin.
end down.
Oh, contact as well. That was Nathan Davies. Oh, wow. Gonna have to get a replay of what happened here with the 98 car. Fraser, take us through what happened.
Well, Clark Williams just went in a little too hot, which he managed to walk it down, which is a racing driver. It's what you should be doing, but Mick Watson had nowhere to go and managed to plough his way through. Nathan
And on
Davies
top of that,
just didn't see Clark Williams round the apex and went flying into his nose cone.
yeah, it's a terrible incident there, taking out two of your front runners in this race. That was, of course, Nathan Davies and Clark Williams. As up at the front, no change really, but, well, Lando Norris has caught Stuart Adcock. In fact, he's passed him now. He was about to pass him before we had that incident, so that happened whilst we were away covering what was happening there. Promote Lando Norris up into P4, as he, well, is still a good gap back, Connery, from Benny Simonson in third in your lead group, really. Well, the podium group, we should say, at this stage. He wants to get himself up there and fight for this one. He's lost some time passing Adcock, 3.4 seconds. That's looking like about 2.2 seconds behind your lead three.
Yeah, but of course, these lead three can start fighting as this race starts to draw to a close, and I know he has the ability in him to catch back up. He's just gotta be patient and wait for them to drop back to him.
Yes, he certainly does. And Tom Ward out front, still flawless. Still not able to be called by Fahim Antonides. Just that gap static, about 0.6 of a second. Simonson in third, still holding station about the same distance back as well. So a very orderly trio at the front of this field. Lando Norris is back in fourth. Adcock fifth. Bill Fraser sixth now. Ryan Walker up to seventh. Adrian Bidwell back at where we're used to seeing him in P8. Tim Adcock P9. Simon Maltby is your top 10 racer. We'll focus on him at the moment as he's being passed there by Brian J. Holmes. You'll get that done through your first couple of corners. Actually, no, it's not. It's up towards the bridge, up around the left-hand kink, up towards the corkscrew now. Good move in turn 5, I think that was Connery, by Brian Holmes.
Yeah, Brian Holmes, he's done quite well in this race so far. He qualified 17th and he's up to P11, so he's made a good couple of places through this field and through this race right now.
He certainly has. Up at the front though, Tom Ward still, well, flawless. Again, the gap's static. We keep trying to talk about that. We're trying to look for some racing going on, guys. Come on, have some action. We've had one incident so far. That, of course, was Nathan Davies and Clark Williams there. Really the biggest one we've seen. Nothing too dramatic otherwise. Luke Ridgway from 25th on the grid. Oh, he's up to 15th position right now. And James Payne, 21st to 14th, so some big movers in your grid. Inside the top 10 there, Adrian Bidwell, certainly the biggest one. 14th, Fraser, up to 8th.
Yes, and that's what creates this series, is a lot of fun. Everyone's roughly the same pace. You'll have a nice big pack of people your pace. It's all about who can work through the draft, who can choose their battles the wisest, who will come out on top.
Yeah, sorry, Fraser. We're just looking at the battle between Brian J. Holmes, Tim Adcock, and Simon Maltby. They've been very, very close for most of this race, and this battle is really, really heating up. I think Brian J. Holmes just got into the back a little bit of Tim Adcock down into the Andretti hairpin, which is why he's dropped back a little bit, and now he's under pressure from Simon Maltby.
Looks to be the case as they run up the hill now towards the left-hander again, turn 6, under that GoPro bridge. Can Brian Holmes catch back up to the back of Adcock? Can he make some time here in the corkscrew? Of course, Fraser, this really takes bravery in one of these Skip Barber cars. A car that is quite, which means loose in the rear end, very tail-happy. This big elevation changes, high weight transfer corners. A real challenge?
Yes, you just put your foot down, hope it grips. It's like the dipper at Bathurst. You get your car turned, you just put your foot right down, close your eyes, and hope it grips every lap.
So that you would say is a professional racing technique, hope and power.
Yeah, you've seen Lewis Hamilton do it, and that's...
Oh, speaking of that, round Brian J. Holmes goes. Sorry, Fraser, but final corner, someone put his foot down, hoped it'd grip, and it certainly didn't there. As he tries to rally across that car around the corner. Looked like it was going to go wrong as he turned in, actually, Connery. That car was very sideways early on, bit of Scandinavian flip going on.
Yeah, with these Skippys off the throttle, you are very, very oversteery, and I think that's exactly what happened there. He just rolled off the throttle a bit too much in the slow speed corners, and it threw the tail around.
Oh, not good for him, of course. Lando Norris hasn't made any time up to your leaders, but the guys who have, Antonides and Benny Simonson, they have gathered up a huge amount of time now. Antonides right in the back of Tom Ward now. It's lap 11 of 15. It's time to start making moves. Will he look to the outside? He's looking to the outside of the corkscrew. That's optimistic for him. He's on a dirty line there through a very obtruse entry. Not what he wanted to have, but he's threatening that friction racing car of Tom Ward right now. Trying to unsettle your race leader. First real challenge we've seen mounted, Connery, since the start of this race.
Yeah, they've been nice and orderly and in line for the past 6 or 7 laps, but now's go time. There's 4 laps to go. 3 laps coming up to the line here, actually, so we're wondering what Benny Simonson might do here, because if Fahim tries to move around Tom Ward and gets it wrong, then Benny Simonson has a golden opportunity.
He certainly does. Could Benny Simonson snatch victory here as he goes for a very wide entry there versus Tom Ward's defensive line to stop Antonides? Antonides all underneath the rear wing there of Tom Ward. As we come on to lap 12 here now, we have 4 to go in this motor race. Antonides pushing hard now, but well, those 3 really have all bunched up. Let's look at the lines we're seeing on the track surface here. Not as much rubber being laid down, but you can see some. More the amount of dirt being pulled onto this racetrack, Fraser, but more importantly, look at how these skip barbers are moving that off the line, so you're having this very well-defined, clean section of the track, and it makes it very easy to see when drivers go off that preferred line. Just what it's doing to their grip. These defensive lines that Tom Ward's taking, this is really causing his tyres to pick up some fairly nasty stuff there. As all Fahim Antonides at the back of him, and had to slow down there to avoid running into the back of Tom Ward. That's given the spot to, wow, Benny Simonson threads the needle between Ward and Antonides. There wasn't really a car's width there. He made it work. Onto the gravel there, running round the corkscrew. This is a huge battle, and he runs wide. He loses a bit of a wiggle there. Back up into second is Fahim Antonides. What a scrappy little moment. That was pure racing goodness.
Yes, and that will maybe allow Lando Norris to catch back up last on the cross line. That's 3.2 seconds. So maybe he will be up closer, maybe within attacking distance, or at least within draft.
We can only hope. The gap does look smaller. Back to P4 Lando Norris. Could a Formula Renault driver in real life, a Formula Renault champion in real life, of course, make anything happen here in this race? Can he fend off Tom Ward, Antonides and Simonson in a bid for the first victory of the season? One name of 12 that will be on a winner's trophy here, of course, and one step towards claiming that elusive UK&I Monday Night Skip Barber Series championship name etched on the wooden board in the clubhouse. There is a board in the clubhouse, I promise. As Tom Ward once again picks up the pace there, and Antonides drops back a small amount. It's still about 7 tenths of a second covering your top 3, which is very close, but look at that gap, Fraser. Now Lando Norris from 3.2 seconds down to 1.8, he's half the distance.
Yes, and that just goes to show what taking one wrong line can do for a whole pack. It's just a high-speed version of Chessie's skip barber cars. The draft's so huge and there's no setup difference whatsoever.
Another attempted move by Benny Simonson there into the corkscrew. Oh, off goes Antonides. Big moment there. We'll try and get a replay of that one. Was there contact? We'll take a look. We're just going to have this wound back to just before they reach the bus, the turn in for the corkscrew. Simonson onto the gravel, throws it up the inside. Oh, and he dives that one hard. Well, the break-ins in, of course, here. Fraser, that's just about where they crest this hill. Way before the break, after the break-in zone. Simonson throws it in there, taps Antonides, and off he goes.
Yes, you've got to get off the brake a little to stop the car walking up, getting sideways, and well, the car got walked up and a little sideways, and accidents can happen when that happens.
Is that what we would call a dive bomb, Fraser?
More than just a dive bomb.
So there were Stukas involved.
Yes, there was.
Okay, we'll call the Luftwaffe in there. They're missing a couple of Stukas, as Benny Simonson will take over second place and the chase for Tom Ward. But one man who doesn't want that to happen is Lando Norris. That 333 car. He must be half the car of Mick Watson's treble 6. But yeah, Lando Norris, can he make a move on Simonson here? The gap has reduced to almost nothing. This puts him in a podium position and chance of making something happen here. Antonides is 4 seconds back, well out of position in 4th place now. 5th even, not a good way to start a season behind Adcock, Norris, Simonson and Ward. We're on lap 14, so there'll be this lap and one more lap to go here at Monterey, California, Laguna Seca. We will crown the first winner of Season 3 2016.
And I think that's Lando Norris. It's just extended track limits over the corkscrew there after getting incredibly loose under braking. That's what I was saying about that little crest. It whipped the back of the car around.
It certainly can do. Of course, he's slowing down there. Of course, I think he's trying to serve his slowdown penalty without giving up space. That's not the way to do that, Lando, I don't believe, as Stuart Adcock will weave his way around there. Lando Norris having to give even more time up, it seems. That gap widening ever more. Best not to serve a slowdown on the racing line, it seems. Will not earn you any friends in a racing series. He'll try and make a move around the outside for turn 2 here. Oh, tight round the outside of Adcock. Can he hold it? Has he served all of his penalty? We have to hope so, as he's going to try and race that position back. Battling there with Adcock to try and tick back 3rd. Gets the move done. Very wily racing there from Lando Norris. Gap spreading there between Simonson and Ward. They have pulled away from Adcock and Norris. Gap opening up. Antonides, though, he's dropped in the second. That car definitely seems to be damaged. He's been caught by one of the cars behind him. It's not Bill Fraser.
Stuart Adcock spun it from behind Lando Norris as they were too wide into turn 5 there. So that might give the car behind a chat.
That was a definite solo car incident. I'll get a quick replay for you, but little single car incident. Just loses the back end, trying to the outside line. Not what he wanted, but he will have to take it. Last time to the corkscrew for your leaders, though. Tom Ward has led every lap of this race without challenge here today at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. A flawless lap by Tom Ward. One moment of little bit of looseness, but in general, a faultless performance from the Friction Racing 89 machine. He has one more corner to go, and he will claim the first trophy of 2016 Season 3 here in the UK&I Skip Barber Race School Series. Tom Ward will be your winner today, unless he pulls a Toyota right now. He hasn't. That's good. He's won. Benny Simonson in 2nd, and 3rd place will go to a beleaguered Stuart Adcock. It will not. No, Lando Norris will take it in 3rd. Final podium spot for him. Antonides recovers into 4th place after Adcock's half spin. Adcock will finish in 5th. Bill Fraser brings it home in 6th place. Bridewell in 7th. 8th place goes to Tim Adcock. 9th is Simon Maltby. And Paul Thurston. He rounds at your top 10. And rest of the results up on your screen as they finish. But that efficient today, of course. Good close finish there between Ashley Beard and Brian J. Holmes down in 11th and 12th. Guys, that was quite the race finish.
Yes,
Sorry, Fraser.
okay.
Yeah, that was an interesting race actually, especially with all the dust and debris on the track that was brought on in practice by various offs. Tom Ward, though, he led every single lap of that race. Well done.
Is there anything to throw into this one?
No, not really. Actually, Connery summed it all up absolutely perfectly.
Lost for words is Fraser Williamson. Well, he won't be for long because Fraser's going to get to interview his countryman Ryan Walker, the Apex Racing Academy driver. Ryan came home, of course, in not a place he'd want. He was 2 laps down. Fraser?
Well, Ryan, not the way you'd want to start this season. Would you like to explain how you ended 2 laps down here?
Basically, I was just minding my own business. Had a gap behind me, and a gap. Well, I was kind of catching Fraser towards the end, and then out of nowhere, for some reason, my engine just decided to blow up. So yeah, I was kind of gutted in a way. It reminded me of Toyota at Le Mans yesterday, but just heartbroken.
Well, that's the thing that you've got to be careful of in these cars, over revving it on the downshifts. But apart from that, you seem to have good pace. Do you have any championship goals for this season?
Just for this season, unlike last season where I just kind of took it up too serious in a way. Just basically this season I'm just relaxing and I'll probably won't be doing every round, but yeah, just probably racing when I feel like it this season. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. If I can get top 10 results in the races that I do, then I'll be happy.
Well, we wish you all the luck here, and good luck with whatever you end up doing with your Monday nights.
Thank you.
That was Ryan Walker joining us, of course. He didn't finish as well as he'd like, but we are talking to Fahim Antonides now, who snuck a fairly good result today. 4th place for him is where you qualified for him. Great race up until those final laps.
Yeah, did you see what happened? I didn't see quite what happened.
Yes, we did see what happened, I believe, the way I read Sirens and Stukas.
Well, I think it felt more like netcode to me. I know that Benny he got a good draft up the hill, so he was right next to me. And then going into the corkscrew at the top of the hill, it was close, and I think I could have held the outside line. But it's probably netcode, I think. But I think the racing was fair, and I think it was hard, and it was really enjoyable. It's a shame I dropped off, but I think I had the pace today for a win. I know Tom got a good draft in qualifying to get pole, and once you get pole here, it's very difficult to pass because it's such a technical track. It's not easy to make a pass. And then I think who got second? It was Lando.
Benny Simonson actually came home in 2nd place for him.
Yes, he got a pretty good tow as well. I think Benny's was the first qualifying lap without a tow, 44.9, and I was on course for the same, but traffic stopped me. So I would have either gotten pole well, I wouldn't have because I didn't have a good draft. But other than that, I think it was very closely matched between the top 4. And the racing was just as close, and I'm glad that I ended up 4th in the end. I think Paul Stewart had a problem, and he did let me go because he couldn't control his car and he didn't want to take me out, so he did the decent thing and he let me go to claim 4th. But really good, enjoyable race.
Well, thanks for joining us, Fahim, and hopefully better luck next week.
Yeah, thanks a lot. See you next week.
And whilst we're waiting, Connery Maddock is standing by with Benny Simonson. He came home today in 2nd place.
Hello, Benny. Good race for you overall, I think. Battling up there with the likes of Lando Norris, Fahim Antonides. How was it battling with those guys who are very, very good in the Skip Barber car?
It's pretty hard work, to be fair. I don't really have the time to practice a lot in this, so just to be up there and battling is pretty good fun.
Yeah, as we saw during practice and qualifying, there was a lot of dust thrown onto the track by people going off and going wide. Was that something you were mindful of when trying passes and trying defensive moves?
Not really. I actually don't know if it makes any difference on the grip, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't come into my game.
All right, thank you very much for your interview, Benny.
No problem.
That's Benny Simonson. Thanks for joining us, Benny. Of course, we do know it is actually a definite thing this season. We definitely see a change in grip now. That's a new feature iRacing brought, of course, is that, well, that grip does affect it. And once you see also some sand all over the track, we saw the videos, of course, of people drifting oval cars at Oxford Plains. So, dirt is coming. But speaking of someone who tried to stay out the dirt today, that is Simon Maltby. He came home in the 8th place. Great result for you today, Simon, climbing from 16th in qualifying. Good start to your season.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. I just tried to keep it clean, keep out of trouble. I only had 3 incidence points in the whole race, which compared with some of the top runners is tiny. So I'm still a bit confused how Benny managed to come second without actually posting a lap time. So he didn't do a clean lap. But there you go.
Oh, there is definitely magic afoot, but great race from you, of course, and hopefully you can have a great race next time out as well.
Thank you very much.
To get a quick chat to Paul Thurston and finally David White before we finish up here today. We'll just have a quick rattle through of issues of the race first. Paul, great race, coming home in 9th place today, 19th on the grid, 10 spots up. The start of the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of work in qualifying for 19th. I can tell you that. It was just a clean race, really. I actually had a bit of pace here, I thought. Then I saw all the fast boys who were doing like 2 seconds a lap faster than me. It can be depressing, but I managed to avoid most of the carnage. I nearly caused some carnage on a couple of occasions. I nearly went smack into the back of Simon, I think it was, on the first lap, up over the corkscrew. And there are a couple of other points where possibly I was a little closer than I'd like to be. But other than that, yeah, I actually enjoyed that. I don't like Laguna much, really. I don't know why. It's a bit slippy, a bit sandy. But
I'll ask you, actually, seeing as you're mentioning Sandy. We just asked Benny Simonson. He wasn't aware that the dirt actually affected your grip now. Did you find any difference?
oh yeah, you get offline. Get offline. It's sliding around. A couple of occasions, I'd actually got one. Coming into turn 1, 2, 3, to turn 3, I think the right hand sharp.
Are you
right
counting
hander.
on your fingers now?
No, toes actually.
Oh, okay, toes.
And I came in there and I basically put my right rear, I think, just on the dirt over the curb, basically, and boy, did it snap round quick. But yeah, you slide off the, especially that fast left-hander before the hill. The 2 of them, basically, you slip wide there, you're going in the dirt.
How scary was the corkscrew, considering how much like a beach it looked?
To be honest, I don't have a problem with the corkscrew. The corkscrew, as long as you don't try and break the eyeballs out of it, then it's actually a fairly simple corner to get clean. You just have to make sure you just cut that right-hand curb on the right, and don't get on the dirt. Really, it's not a difficult corner. It's a difficult corner to go quickly around. But if you just try and be consistent, then it was. I found it okay tonight.
Thanks for your insight there, Paul, and thanks for joining us today.
No problem, Rachel.
And finally, we'll come to David A. White. He came home today in, I believe that was 15th place for you, up from 18th, David. So, great start to the season, and I believe you're one of the newer drivers in the series.
Yeah, hi Rachel. Yeah, first race of the season, first race in this league, in fact. Yeah, 15th in practice. I think I qualified 18th, as you said. Actually dropped it on the first lap and went off course, off track. Ended up 25th, I think. So I'm quite pleased with a battle back for 15th.
Well, a fantastic result for you, of course. And just to say, you're 16th in practice, 18th in qualifying, 15th overall, including if you went back to 25th, was a very, very good performance here today. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you have great luck next time out.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks for joining us. Of course, last thoughts from you, Fraser, and you, Connery. Great start to the season. This definitely bodes well for the championship.
I'm just hoping to see more of these faces, some of the new guys, David. Hoping to see some of the old guard, Fahim, Bell, Stuart, Adcock, all coming back for the remaining 11 rounds of this series.
I hope they certainly do, but we need people like Paul Grillo and a few of the others to come back. That would be awesome to see those faces returning, but we'll settle for Stuart Adcock. We'll call him old until he comes for an interview, of course, but he probably doesn't deserve that. A spectacular race. Connery, final thoughts?
It's a great race for the first race of the season. I can't wait to see what the next 11 races hold for us. Tom Ward, great job in getting that first win. But for the championship, you've also got people like Benny Simonson, Lando Norris, Freeman Tonight, Stuart Adcock, any number of people that can actually get up there, win races, and place well, and potentially win this championship.
We certainly will. And well, fantastic end to the first race of the season. We had lots of you come and talk to us today, which we always appreciate. So if you're in the race, feel free to come and have a chat. You have to say if we get all 26 of you or 30 of you. We can't talk to everyone, but we will try our damn best. Thanks for joining us. Of course, join us same time next week, and we will bring you round 2 of the UK&I Skip Bar Racicle series from another racetrack. I don't know which one it is, so I'm sure we'll find out. But I've been Richard White. I've been joined by Fraser Williamson and Connery Maddock. Thanks for joining us. Good night.